Going to
Thank you.
just 15 seconds. So we are live now. Hi Himanshu. Hi
Hello,
everyone.
Asta. Hello, Asta. Hello, everybody.
Welcome to Crio Voices episode 4. And in this episode, we are going to dive down into one of our remarkable learners' journey about their entry into the software development field, how it is going, and the experiences about our program. So, welcome, Himanshu. Thank you for joining us today. People, it's going to be very raw conversation today. Himanshu share their raw insights and everything with us. So, Himanshu, could you please share a little bit about yourself and walk us through about your journey throughout?
Yes, thanks a lot for inviting me over here, Asta, again. And good evening, everybody. So, my name is Himanshu Adhikari, and I'm a passionate and versatile enthusiast in tech from New Delhi. So, I also have my own dynamic journey in this software development field of, I guess, past over 3 years if you're not considering the college. So, if I have to start my introduction, I would say that I graduated in the batch of 2021 in the field of computer science only, where I had the spark to get fully enrolled in this software development industry. So there has this the ride has been like ups and its own downs. So everything's like we'll talk about it. So okay, so moving on to my project. So I have done I've served in Infosys for almost 2 to 2.5 years, where I did two projects of one whole year. And besides Infosys, I have to talk about. Then I also served in HS Tech as a Java developer, where we worked in integrating the payment method into a Denmark website that known as elos.com. Moving forward, I'll tell you about that too. So you tell Asta, how has your day been going?
It's been great. I'm very much excited and feeling privileged to be here and knowing about your journey. So I guess it's been a lot of ups and downs, a lot of changing the tracks and then into the estate domain. So can you let us know when have you decided that you want to be a part of software development domain and it's going to be your career?
Yes, for sure. So from the very start of the first day of my college, I was not the Excel topper of the class. Like I was not failing onto any subjects or like that. Like I was the slow one, but I was at a normal pace. Okay. So moving on to our college where we are not that much serious, I had some projects that I was enrolled in that helped me on to get into this field of industry. So basically, uh, as I said, now we were like the major and the minor project. That is basically the top-notch activity that we have to focus on. Okay, so the main goal was to get into a intelligent girls or boys group where we would just nod our head and then we will do everything that they'll say. So technically, there was a term known as Gunda boys that our teacher would have given to us three or four boys. When the group was getting discussed and सब अपने topics बता रहे थे, those three boys were sitting in my hostel room and chilling with me only. So eventually, there was a group of these three people that were like the worst kids of the class that get into a same group, and we had to work collaboratively for the minor and the major project too. Okay, so at that point of time we didn't knew that जो हम माइनर में कर रहे हैं वही हमें ऑप्टिमाइज करके मेजर में दिखाना है. So we being the college first second year college kids, the small childrens, and we made a minor project, I guess, for some website integrating like CSHTML, simple basic website, not that much complicated, only 2-3 layers of web pages, that's it. Okay, explaining about what we did. And it was not that much serious, but still that project is still going on as themagitalmedia.com. You can visit by over there, where we provide SAS, software as a service. So after that, I thought that in the major project, it is a pretty serious thing, because while interviewing, the interviewers knows that the kid is coming from the college and the kid is not that much serious. So he basically focuses on the major projects and also some of to the minor projects and some internships if I have done. Okay. So I decided to do a very good major project as do helmet detection on two-wheelers, okay, using deep computer vision. So I told this plan to my head teacher that I think that I'm not able to do that website thing again. I want to go into this full-fledged where I would like skills would be tested, okay, deploying it to an internal working. So I told my teacher, she said no, and my ego was hurt. Okay, so she said, what you can do is you can separate yourself out and do the whole project alone. I said, okay, I'll do it. And then eventually the two guys also collaborated and we did that project. That went pretty well. So there's this website known as ISRJC. Do you know anything about it? So
Ah,
take,
yeah, I've heard the
uh, so
name.
so technically, this is for the college folks also. If you have made up a project by yourself and you are pretty much confident enough, you can post it up into websites like ISRJC that are governments internalized, and they will technically check for 15 days for the plagiarism. And if there is like any copyrighted, patented thing that you have copied into your set of code, so they will tell you about it and they'll tell you कि आप इतना duration में इसको सही करके resubmit करो. So I we submitted it over there and it got accepted. I also got a certificate from ISRGC that your research review paper has been submitted. That project was further selected for from my the head teacher for this AI triple E competition. Wait, I'll show you. And I guess I also uploaded it over here and there, like ResearchGate and all. And it has across 1,000 international views. Like if anybody is pursuing the project of helmet detection on two-wheelers, so he will obviously look at the research paper or the poster to get a mock-up ki how he should pursue things, which things that he needs to focus on or not. So my one advice would be that if you guys are it like college time is pretty much open for chilling only, but you have to focus on some skills, core set skills, project, do some
Mhm.
implementation projects, and you are good to go.
Yeah.
Because working as a college kid in 2021, these big firm names like Infosys, Deloitte, TCS, these were the top notch firms that I wanted to get in. So once I stepped in, worked over there for 1 2 years, then I get to know the real analysis, like what is exactly the process. We will talk about that too. So
Okay.
this was about my college life and the projects that I have done on a shorter scale.
Okay. So summarizing it, getting to work on the projects and building a major project has been
Hmm.
a part where you started your journey in the software development domain, and then from there on, your journey started.
Yes.
Great. So it seems like a very, a kind of a movie that, okay, we have got into a problem. You need to find out a solution, build a major project, get to a good company, and that's
Yes.
how you can start a software development domain. Great. And where all this Cryo came into the picture, and when you decided that Cryo would be your upskilling partner.
Okay, so technically moving on to the so like I told, I was like first I did a job of data analytics and concentrics for like 2 or 3 months. Okay,
Okay.
and at that, so I got to know that they have their own implementation and set of rules, something like that, but they were like not pure tech core companies. Okay, so at that point of time I was also giving interviews for some other companies, and I got the offer letter from Infosys in around, I guess, December of 2021. So I quit that Concentrix and I enrolled in Infosys and I started working in, and I worked over there like for 2 to 2.5 years. So Asta, what technically happens is like if you are working in a very big firm, okay, so this big firm has a capacity of like 100 people, okay, so they have 10 projects and ten people would work collaboratively on this uh, full project, okay. So उन 10 peoples में से भी सब एक एक छोटा छोटा पार्ट कर रहे हैं, तो the learning capacity is very low. Instead, if I'm going to a small entrepreneur firm where there are 10 peoples and 10 projects, everybody is handling one project on his own, so
Correct.
the learning magnifies, okay. So
Mhm.
I did the same. I worked in Infosys. The first project that I was I guess a system executive at a trainee level,
Mhm.
and the project that we did was like the set of codes and repository was already been created. There was a directory there where we worked, and we pushed, if the directory was cross checked and everything was perfect, it was pushed in the main branch, or else it would have been nullified, okay.
Mhm.
Or if we are not able to collaborate, they would give us certain rules like or testing it up, okay, some good post methods to fetch everything is there was a bang that we had to work along with. So moving forward, as we know, like we need everything in 2 clicks, right? If we have to, it is not known as automation if it is not getting done in 1 or 2 clicks. So we
Correct.
had to automate the whole journey. And
Mhm.
moving on, I worked on that project for 1 year, and then after that I worked on another project that is S4 HANA, which is a pretty big software in itself, and which is a very heavy like paid software that is not free or accessible. Like these Infosys organizations can pay for it and the users can use it, like the employees can use
Okay.
it. But if you and I, if we want to grow and excel on it, so we would obviously go to YouTube or the online resources. So S4
Okay.
HANA resources are not available online, and you won't be willing to pay it from your own pocket just to learn, right?
Mhm.
So why I told you all this, because in Infosys, TCS, Deloitte, we don't have the choice कि which project we wanna enroll in. अगर उन्होंने पहले मुझे जावा में डाल दिया, एंड सेकंड मेरा SAS था, so I have to do it. S4 HANA वाला करना पड़ा एक साथ. एंड उसके बाद what if they put me in Amazon AWS type cloud? मेरा मतलब a little piece of information is very useful to you, okay? बट वही है कि आप लिटिल 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 करके बहुत सारा ऐसा डाइवर्स नहीं कर सकते. दैट इज मतलब एक चीज में आप एक्सेल ऐसे कर ही नहीं पाओगे. तो हाँ, टेक्निकली आई गॉट टू नो दैट वी नीड टू मेक श्योर दैट व्हाट टाइप ऑफ वर्क वी आर वर्किंग इन. सिर्फ एक इंडस्ट्री में हमें स्टेप इन नहीं करना है. वी हैव टू नो अबाउट द वर्क दैट दीज आर एंड दिस वर्क इज हेल्पिंग you moving forward or not.
Correct.
Right. So at that point of time, I quit Infosys for around 2 to 2.5 years because I also had that major thing in my brain, fished in my brain, that if this is your first company, you need to at least have a good certain amount of time. Moving forward, I got to know that is not true. If you have the skills, you can quit whenever you want. Like, there is n number of money in the market, and money has one common thing, that it flows. It cannot stay at single point. So if you have the skills, and if you have the you're skilled enough, then you can fetch the money for yourself too. Okay. Then
Okay.
I worked in HH Tech for like 5 or 6 months. I'll tell you the story about HH Tech too. And then I started working with Crio too. So I managed both of them accordingly. And then at a certain, and right now, like, Crio has its own establishments, and also I'm fully working in Crio. So we will talk about the working decorum and all the stories about Crio too. So this was the basic, like,
Okay.
why.
So what has been the deciding factor that you chose Cryo to as an upscaling partner, and since you had good amount of experience in Infosys as well, and you worked on many projects.
Yes,
So
yes.
what has been the deciding factor about Cryo and taking it as a upscaling partner?
So see, working in a company like Infosys or any big tech firms, the top 10, okay, what they will ask you is to do certain amount of work that they have like in their enrolling projects, okay. So if I'm a beginner, obviously they won't hand over me the advanced steps or advanced like the in my S4 HANA, we had the fast sprints that like had 15 days of durations. That was of like technically Infosys also deals with these household products like chillets and all. If 1 millions of units are say sold over to a B2B client, so these 1 million needs to be inputted in certain record, right? So we had the software, and we had the maintaining decrypting and encrypting codes to fetch all those things, and we manually have to make sure that the whole test cases are getting passed or not, okay. So we being beginners, the max that we did was like managing all these files, some short methods, encrypting and providing the set of codes, or else managing it all on Panaya. So there are various tasks that we had to do. But obviously, in order to, if you have to fetch in for the advanced field of, you need to have that advanced field knowledge, right? अगर आपको कोई ऐसा 2+2=4 बोल के सीधा डिवीजन मल्टीप्लाई दे देगा, तो आप नहीं कर पाओगे. So you need to, and the main thing is like if I'm doing some work for 8 to 10 hours now, I'm mentally exhausted. Ki I have done for the day, and now I can. So Cryo like gives this opportunity that they have their flexible timings, and so you can manage it all around yourself. Like if you're not able, but look, there's some difference. Like live lectures are there on Cryo, okay, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and 3 of them are revision classes. So 8 to 10 आपने live classes ले लिया. अगर if you're not able to fetch to the live class, but then what you can do is you can go to the visited lecture. But
Okay.
the recorded lecture में ये difference है that you won't be able to ask the questions that you want on spot, right? So ये वाला थोड़ा सा factor आ जाता है. That is why. So these all things Cryo helped me with it, and there's one more thing that technically made me choose Cryo only. So moving forward, I'll tell you that also.
That's great. So
Hmm.
if I say that the deciding factor has been this, that Cryo has a flexibility that you can use, and you can manage your work as well as your upskilling side by side. As you mentioned, like during Cryo, when you were learning from Cryo or doing your sprints here, you were also working. And I
Hmm.
believe this has been the major factor of how you were able to manage both your work as well as the Cryo learning. Was Cryo did Cryo made anything easier for you to manage both of the things? Your work, your life, as well as upskilling?
Uh, I feel like this work-life balance some other people cannot set it for you. If you are willing enough,
Mm-hmm.
if you are willing enough, if like I am working also, and the side hustle is that takes you forward, right? Matlab,
Mm-hmm.
so this happened, right? Okay, I'll tell you. Let me share a story. Okay, this will elaborate or clarify this thing. So I was also working over there in HH Tech, and then I was working with Crio also. So the main fixation goal was that every day I'll solve 10 questions of DSA. For the folks also, if you're solving 10 questions per day, you need to solve five hard, three medium, two easy. Okay. So
Okay.
sometimes what happened was ki I'm stuck into a hard problem. 4 to 6 hours wasted over that problem. Every piece of information is knowledgeable, so not wasted, but kind of we can say that if I'm able to only do two or three, then I'm wasting my time. So I got demotivated. So there was this guy named as Aniket. So Cryo helps us this facility of technical tech support, and the other one is customer tech support. So
Mm-hmm.
over there, you can not only ask for assistance in your codes, but also if you're like, I was not feeling good at that time, like solving a question. I was talking to this guy, and I told him, "Is it okay to feel demotivated and all this?" So he said yes. So I told him this scenario where I was working for this problem for at least 6 to 5 hours. I guess it had a certain specific generic type that I had to know. Okay, so I
Mm-hmm.
asked him, "Ki, I'm not able to do it, and then I'm getting demotivated and all." So like
Mm-hmm.
he kind of shouted and directly said it to me. Himanshu, listen up, man. What? Well, these motivation, demotivations are the fake conflicts that we have created for ourselves. Like these
Okay.
are not true. अगर मैं खुश होके करूंगा तो भी मैं वो काम करूंगा, खुश होके नहीं कर रहा तो मेरे को शक्ल बना के भी करना पड़ेगा यार, क्योंकि
Huh.
eventually we are the only one that is going to do it, right? It is
Correct.
not about it is not about the side hustle. It is like a learning and moving forward is a constant thing in our life.
Hmm.
अगर कोई एक जगह रुका हुआ है, ग्रो नहीं कर रहा है, तो दैट गाय वुड बी इट, उसको खुद पता होगा इट इज हार्मफुल फॉर हिमसेल्फ.
Correct. So side
So
hustle and upskilling is all very much important.
yes,
Going
yes,
along
yes.
with a job, whether you like it or not, आपको करना पड़ेगा so that you can
Exactly.
grow and you can upskill yourself
No,
in the field.
no. See, moving forward, per month, India may we do 8 billions of UPI transactions. Eight
Correct.
billion, right?
Oh my
So,
God.
abhi, I guess 2.5 years back, I used to get a recharge of 200 rupees of 1 GB data. That used to
Hmm.
go for a whole month. Okay,
Hmm.
we were abroad like that, and now when UPI was established over here, so you see the money flow. 8 billion monies hanging around over in there, where everybody needs it automated with 2 clicks. अगर 2 clicks से ज़्यादा उनको करना पड़ रहा है तो they are not gonna do it. Okay, we will. Uh, why did this Paytm UPI got flopped, and why there are so many apps that are like doing that? Now there's a feature where we can just tap and pay, right?
Correct.
So we are automating it. So
Hmm.
if a big firm has a different process and they need some integration, so who is gonna contact them, right? We are the developers that are gonna do that for them.
Hmm.
राइट. सो टेक्निकली मनी फ्लो अभी अपना टेक उसमें बहुत ज्यादा है, लाइक टेक्निक द person sitting in front of us don't know the work, right? So we
Hmm.
can charge them accordingly, and that is exactly what is happening. So
Correct.
it is a very growing vast field, and it was a pretty good time to step it in.
That I actually resonate with
Hmm.
you. Technical requirements are nowadays have
Hmm.
taken exponential growth, and to be there in the market, valuable in the market, you need to upskill yourself. Okay, that has been great. Could you let us know a bit about the curriculum of Cryo and the projects that you have worked
Hmm.
upon?
Yes. So, as I told you about the projects that I've worked in Infosys, and as I've told you about the project that I've worked in HS Tech also, not in
Hmm.
detail, but just a bit brief.
Yeah.
So, if I have to talk about Cryo, the last project that we built on Cryo was, do you know about that live intraday websites and all that fetches a stock when it goes up, or
Yeah.
or it just holds a stock when it is not going up or it is going down in the market? So what
Hmm.
that software, what that database management would do is, if some stock is going exponentially good, it will directly fetch it and put it in your account. If a stock
Oh,
is,
okay.
if a stock is like if I bought it out for like 2500 bucks and it is on
Hmm.
200 2000 bucks, so it will
Hmm.
hold it. It has the perception knowledge. So we build this from scratch, and technically if I'm doing from scratch on my own, I'll know the minute details because I've done it myself, right?
Correct.
And as I told you, these Infosys and all the projects that we are working on the side hustles. Like side branches, we are pushing it up if we are doing it correctly or not. Moving
Mm-hmm.
on to the cryo, we have to do everything on our own. So the difference is there. All the difference is always gonna be there, right? If you're doing it full fledged on your own, instead of working in a team of 10 people where you're learning from someone. And yes, so this is the cryo curriculum that you have to do it on your scratch from your own. And the next upcoming project that we are working on, do you know about the sites like Hackathon where there are coding platform tests and all? So
Mm-hmm.
now, this upcoming this month, we would be working on this project. And obviously, if a big firm, if I go in some startup based companies, they need real proofs, right? So these all are maintained, good, well maintained. One second, I'll share you my. How can I share my screen over here?
I guess so. Just a second, let me check.
Oh, turn screen share on. I get it. I'll show you my profile, like how do they manage and portfolio, the whole portfolio that I don't have to take care about, right? So
Okay.
right now in this field, only your CV is not important. Along with your CV, your digital तुम्हारा digital proof भी चाहिए होगा. That is basically known as a portfolio. The
Mm-hmm.
second important thing that is there is your LinkedIn also.
Okay.
Now the companies are also asking for the LinkedIn. So this is the portfolio that I'm talking about. So see over here, it shows the
That
175 plus of
sounds
TSA
good.
problem. Huh? Like
Yeah.
these are the skill acquired. Like I have uh, done each 20 days sprint of like completing a certain set of codes questions and mock-up
Mm-hmm.
interview, mock-up test in order to get this. And these are the projects. So this
Okay, so
Q
this
money,
is
huh?
cryo
This
portfolio that auto get generated
Yes,
once
yes,
you're
yes, yes.
completing at least
Exactly,
one,
exactly, exactly. If
having
I'm
your
not able to
projects.
complete, so these Q calc and the QQs was the starting ones that are not that much needed. But yes, so yes, this was the thing I was telling you about. This is the ResearchGate. This is a private website where I posted my project, and I guess right now it has over 1,000 of international reads.
That's great.
Hmm.
So, can you show us again the cryo portfolio and give us a walkthrough of how it get all the details of a learner here on one
Hmm.
portfolio? And do
So
you
see,
fill the details here or it gets auto
no,
generated?
it gets auto generated. I have to waste my time over these skills that I'm acquiring, right? I
Uh,
don't have to waste my time managing all this. So Cryo basically does all this on the back end.
okay.
And it is just not only the portrait of the skills, it also has the links to my the testing, like how is it implemented, average, like how we were fetching the strokes codes, how we were fetching it, we were using it, the API Jackson is a v serialization deserialization method.
That's wonderful.
And
And we
this
can see the projects right from the portfolio.
yep, we can. Yes, this is like integrated over here only. One sec,
That's
yeah.
great. I guess there's a link there as well to see the project that you've created.
Exactly. So not only we are just showing our skills over here, we are also providing relevant information and things like how did I implement it, what was the output. Like over
Mm-hmm.
here, we were creating Google Forms.
Mm-hmm.
So not one form, on a same scale, a large amount of forms can be created through this. So
That's
these
actually
are,
wonderful. So this
yes.
has been managed by Cryo team and can it be shared to people
Exactly. See,
outside Cryo and maybe on
yes,
LinkedIn
yes,
and other
yes, yes, yes,
platforms?
yes. What if I'll just paste it over the chats and you can see it too.
That's great.
Like you can visit it from here and it's done. One second.
Yeah, I'm actually able to see your portfolio
Yes,
with
so
all the skills and projects.
this is one of the perks that Cryo has been, the like technical support and see
Mm-hmm.
what I'm telling you is now I have relevant information of 3.5 years. Okay, so according to me, I also like सब बोलते हैं कि there will be a point of time when you will connect all the dots and you will get to know these things. So spending 2 years, you will get the circle like how we are maintaining all this. But in our cryo journey learners, there are some guys in our every mentor is like with his 10 to 12 years of relevant in knowledge. Okay, I have three. They have into 30, and like see the differences can be seen, right? So I feel like I'm dumb enough in speaking in front of them, so I have to go and cross check over the internet, like I'm saying the right thing or not, something like that. So, why? So learning is always a never-ending process. Like there is always a bigger fish in the market. The same goes for the learning also. Like there would still
That's
something
correct.
left. Ha.
I'm totally agreeing to it, and I'm resonating with this idea that learning is a continuous process here.
Hmm.
And as you mentioned about the mentors here having the years of 10 to 12 years of experience, would you like to share any example of any mentor, any
Yes,
story?
yes. So in order to keep it engagement, in order to keep it alive, the meetings alive. Okay. So technically, what happens is the while working, we forget we tend to forget that we are humans. We start, like, if I'm working with some guy, he'll call me, I'll ask him what is the work, I'll do that work, I'll send him that information. But the personal touches that we are talking about is, like, there was this instructor known as Abhinav, a pretty great instructor. So he's in LinkedIn, and there's a team of 4 or 5 people that uh, makes the questions that we see on LinkedIn for certifications. And also there are only 4 guys in India that is in this team, and he's one of them. So what he did was, I have to explain the definition of edge cases first. Okay. So in our tech field, we have to take care about the edge cases. What is an edge case? An edge case, if put into simple words, is like, let's say you have to make a cup of coffee, not
Okay.
not the कॉफी कप बट एक्चुअल वाला कप बनाना है आपको. एंड
Okay.
हाँ, एंड आपको अब अलग कार्ड्स के लिए बनाना है, अलग अलग कार्ड्स के लिए अलग अलग शेप एंड अलग अलग साइजेस का. दोज आर द एज केसेस. so
Okay.
so what would that instructor do is he will leave the edge cases out. ठीक है, and not for the learners. Technically he'll say that anyone who figures out the edge case would get a direct referral from him for LinkedIn,
Oh,
right? So yes, I also have a referral, direct referral of LinkedIn, or else I won't
oh,
be
what an
telling you
achievement.
or else I won't be telling you this. Huh?
That's great. That's
Uh,
actually great. That keeps the live sessions engaging.
exactly, exactly. And the amount of knowledge here we are talking about now. See, if you can get a guy who has 10, 12 of relevant experience, and you say ki you have to teach him all this in, let's say, 20 to 25 hours. So what he'll do is he'll try to push all things in to make a quality gold material of 20 to 25 hours, and he'll give it to you, right?
Correct.
So we technically fetching all these things that are important to us in order to, and it is live. You can ask anything out that is like, if you will feel like you're dumb or you won't ask, then that is a negative point for you. Okay,
Correct.
technically he's there to help you out and solve your doubts. So
So engaging with mentors, asking them a lot
hmm,
of questions, and taking the technical check support is ultimatum to growth.
yes, yes, yes,
Learning.
yes, exactly.
Also, Himanshu, I was very much curious to see the projects that you have built, and the portfolio was actually very engaging and awesome.
Hmm.
Like, I also want to see the projects that you have done and everything. I just wanted to know that, how since you have done a lot of projects outside Cryo as well as inside Cryo. So, what is the major difference that you felt that with the projects that you have done in your companies and the projects that you have worked or developed in Cryo? What is the difference,
Okay,
and
okay,
how much
okay.
you're confident about both of the set of projects?
So obviously, as I have repeated myself, that in big firms we are not. So I'll tell you one more story of HS Tech. Okay, so this was this payment integration. Payment integration was divided into 4 certain steps. First, we had to make the connection. We have to make sure that the double security protocol was there. That from the users and from our side, this is known as CLA, client level architecture system, where we are putting all our resources over here, and they both are getting the same OTPs or anything like that. If that is getting matched, then we will move on to doing the next transaction. So one of the new learner that did was, instead of doing upgrades on the branch, he directly routed the main branch. So
Okay.
सो यस सो वही अब ये डिफरेंस यहाँ पे ऐसा है कि यू आर गेट अंडर मेंटोरशिप. हाँ, तो यू कैन नॉट मेक सिली मिस्टेक्स लाइक दिस, बिकॉज once you are doing it from your end, it is getting assessed through Cryo's websites and protocols. And if that is getting passed, as Java is a compiled language, so compilation वो अपनी side से double cross check कर लेता है, तो you won't be able to make these silly errors.
Acha.
तो
So
हाँ,
like
this
it's
this is it.
very in a good environment, in a
Hmm,
controlled
hmm,
environment,
hmm,
you are
hmm.
learning and developing the projects.
Exactly, exactly.
Hmm. And does that make learners more confident about the projects and the interview rounds? Like if I talk about, because
Hmm.
upskilling is a route to go to major opportunities and reach out to a good number of companies. So once you are doing upskilling, once you're making more number of projects, especially in cryo, would that make you more confident to go for the interview processes, or is there any difference here?
Obviously, the top firms, see, on a beginner level, we work with data sets that are not complicated. If I'm working with advanced concept data sets and all, then only the company's requirements with advanced things would be matched, right? If I haven't done anything that uses the advanced concept, like for say, take an example of a binary tree or graph. If I'm using that in certain set of codes or not, or recursion, anything like that, okay. So if I haven't done or made any project that uses those qualities, how can I portray myself that I am capable enough to work in your firm? Because now everything. One more thing that Cryo has, the plus point that I would say is that for a single opportunity, there are 10 or 20,000 of people that are directly putting themselves into, right? मतलब
Hmm.
जिनका स्किल सेट मैच हुआ दैट आर 1,000 people, जिनका स्किल सेट नहीं मैच हुआ दैट आर 10,000 people, 11,000 applied. So might
Correct.
be possible I'm from the 1,000 and my CV won't go to the manager, right? So ATS system also filters or sort it out. So technically, Cryo has this inbuilt connections with all these firms. They have been providing kids with the interview rounds. So the main where 20,000 people are putting all their information, that is done from my end. I just have to prep for the interview and directly I can give the interviews. Plus, for the prep of the interview, they provide mock tests. The guys I'm telling you about, like this LinkedIn guy, he's one of the guys that goes for the mock-up interviews and also like they make you sound dumb. You can have as much of as knowledge. So that is what Cryo tries to teach. कि technically I have to drive the interview. मतलब आप
Hmm.
questions वो पूछ रहे हो जो आपको पूछना है, but उसके अंदर के words मैं fill कर रहा हूँ.
Hmm.
For example, let's say if you ask me a random question of about linked list, so what I will do is I'll tell a simple definition of linked list that it contains certain nodes. I've dotted pointers and all. It is fragmented, and that so I'll use a complicated term like fragmented. So the next question, rhetorical question from your end would be, what is this
Correct.
fragmentation, right? So I'll explain. I'll do the same thing about fragmentation, like storing nodes एक साथ नहीं अलग अलग points पे. I'll use one more complicated term over there, and technically I am driving the interview. You are the one asking the questions from your end, but I am so this is what you get to like learn.
That's
If
actually
there's
interesting, very much interesting. So,
hmm,
apart from having the portfolio created, working on the major projects and the minor projects, it also prepares you for the interview rounds,
yes, yes, yes,
as well
exactly.
as how you can drive the interview. With a lot of you
Hmm.
also mentioned about mock interviews here.
Yes,
Would
yes,
you like
yes.
to share a bit about mock interviews, or what is it and how it really is helpful or not helpful?
So there's a set of course that you have to do, like DSA 1, 2, 3, 4 are the they are the main criteria courses that you have to do. Okay, so I
Okay.
was telling you about this project that we are doing right now, na? The hackathon one where
Huh.
we can coding platform type कुछ बनाना है.
Huh.
तो after that, I guess there's one or two more electives that I have to do. Then I would be ready for the mockups because right now I also know where I stand. Right, there's a 1 second. I'll share my screen for 1 second again. Okay.
Sure.
So here, this is the knowledge time graph. ठीक है? So technically, knowledge time graph is something. अगर आपके पास zero knowledge है ना, तो आपको लगेगा आपका confidence बहुत ज़्यादा high है. Your confidence would be over here somewhere. ठीक है?
Yeah.
But as long as you move on, जैसे मैंने tech field start करा, in the very start I had बहुत ज़्यादा knowledge. But when I spent my time over here, like 1 year, 2 year, तो एक point ऐसा आया जहाँ पे I realized कि भाई मुझे तो कुछ पता ही नहीं है, there is much more to left, तो मेरा confidence इससे नीचे जाने लग गया.
Huh.
एंड उसके बाद एक saturation पॉइंट आता है व्हेन यू विल अंडरस्टैंड एवरीथिंग एंड वो फिर ऐसे ही जाएगा. बट यू हैव
Okay.
टू स्पेंड लाइक 1 or 2 years ऑफ यू हैव टू पुट इन द स्ट्रगल एंड द साइड हसल. सो नॉलेज टाइम ग्राफ हमेशा ऑपोजिट जाता है, बट वंस यू हैव रीच द थ्रेशोल्ड देन इट विल ऑलवेज गो अप.
Got
So
it.
so yes, this is the scenario. And technically, I also know where I stand, how much prep I need, क्योंकि only you can know the real you, right? 100% अपने आप को सिर्फ हम जानते हैं. सामने वाला, if I have my life partner over here, she would also understand me like for 40 or 60% only. बाकी तो if you're, be real to yourself, right? अगर आपको
Mm-hmm.
नहीं आ रहा है, 2-3 घंटा और लो, अपना पेस मत देखो, टाइम स्पेंड करो, वर्क ऑन इट, try to memorize it again, try to practice, take a pen and paper and do it over there. Don't use a laptop or a tab. This would be the suggestion that I would like to give.
That's
क्योंकि
great.
you just have to reach that threshold after which you will get to know कि हाँ, now these are things that are gonna certain way.
Okay, okay, got it. Yeah, that has been an engaging conversation so far. I enjoyed a lot. I didn't realize it's been more than 30 minutes we are talking, but it's engaging, very much engaging conversation. And if
Yes.
I ask you one last question from my end would be what has been something that you want to share to your fellow learners in cryo do, like you have done the cryo program very efficiently and going ahead in the right direction. What are the things that you would like to share as a suggestion to your cryo learners?
As a suggestion, I just said, right, be true to yourself. If you're not, see, you'll, जैसा सब लोग कहते हैं कि once you will get to understand everything when the circle is complete, right? So
Mm-hmm.
technically वो circle complete होने तक, basically, if there are the 1,000 questions, there are 3,000 ways to solve it, but there are always going to be those 1,000 questions only. सो नो न्यू क्वेश्चंस आर, क्योंकि हम सब बना चुके हैं ऑलरेडी, जितने क्वेश्चंस हो सकते हैं ऑलरेडी फेच करके. सो जस्ट यू हैव टू, आपको 500 क्वेश्चंस नहीं करने, यू हैव टू डू 100 क्वेश्चंस इन 1,000 ways. यू गेट इट राइट? मतलब एक क्वेश्चन को आपने सॉल्व करा, देखो उसका टाइम कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी, देखो उसको ऑप्टिमाइज कैसे कर सकते हैं, वो देखो हाउ मच टाइम इज इट टेकिंग टू गेट रन. लाइक अगर 0.56 मिली सेकेंड लग रहा है, तो देयर माइट बी सम गाय हु इज डूइंग इट इन 0.02 seconds. उसका सॉल्यूशन देखो, उसको इम्प्लीमेंट करने की सोचो. That is what I'm telling na. If the code that I have been doing, my mentor, that guy can do it in like 2-3 lines because he have certain relevant experience about that. So this is the difference, and this would be
Got
the
it.
advice
So
that I would like to
if
give.
you want to learn, the complete cycle, you need to complete the cycle first and
Exactly.
get
You,
a good
matlab, हाँ,
understanding of what is
exactly,
there.
exactly. You would have to put in some hard work in order to understand things.
Put in hard work, do a side hustle, upskill yourself, do as many projects you
Hmm.
can, get as many help, ask as
Yes.
many questions as you can. Just learn a lot from each and
Hmm.
everywhere and grow. That
Yes.
has been a good ending point to end the conversation here.
Hmm.
And yeah, it's been an interesting journey. It's been an interesting conversation here to know about your journey, your perspective, and your experience about the cryo program. To end this, you would like to say something, or to our viewers here.
As Anirudh said, don't get demotivated. Motivation, demotivation are the fake conflicts that we guys have created for ourselves. So keep on hustling, keep working.
Oh yeah, thank you so much. Thank you
Yes.
so much, Himanshu, for joining us
Okay.
today.
Bye bye.
It
Have
has
a
been
good
an
day, Asta.
engaging conversation. Thank you. You too. Thank you so much. Bye bye.